Hello everyone, Gaara here. This deck tech video is brought to you by our sponsors G2A. And this video I'm gonna talk about the first of my decks I'm going to submit for Dreamhack Sweden, Dreamhack Summer. It is the biggest Dreamhack besides the Dreamhack Winter, and this is no surprise, the first deck I'm gonna submit. It is Grim Patron Warrior. It is actually a version of Grim Patron Warrior, because Grim Patron Warrior is not Grim Patron Warrior because there's like 20 different solid versions out there right now. And in my opinion, this is the strongest version. This is the latest version made by Justsaying. Yeah, I was talking with him in Skype. He helped me prepare for this event. And yeah, this is basically his list. And the strongest part about this version is, I made already like deck tech videos about Grim Patron before, but the strongest point of this deck is the amount of heart removals. And this is also the main reason why I decided to play this deck. The best counters out there right now for Grim Patron Warrior, in my opinion, it's not actually that many, but the best counter, okay, there's actually two good counters. It's like a slow mid-range hunter. It's not a real counter, it's like about even, and handlock. And most people would agree that handlock is like the best deck to play against Grim Patron, just because of the amount of taunts, heal, big threats, and board removals. Like you have the Hellfires and Shadow Flames. So overall, you have all the tools you need to beat Grim Patron. And this deck is really good against that, because it has the double shield snaps and the double execute, which you usually have in the standard control list. And the only like additional removal for giants you have in the standard warrior list is Brawl and BGH. So, but Patron Warrior is much faster and has like way more damage, and you have like a different tool to remove bigger threats with the Grim Patron combo. Like if you I'm pretty sure you saw like a lot of Grim Patron games already, and when you get like Emperor out and you go for the Grim Patron with in a rage combo with the Warstorm Commander, you have like already one Grim Patron will have 5 attack and charge, and if you spawn another Grim Patron, this is already 8 damage. So you can already use 2 Grim Patrons to basically kill any threat in the game, because if you don't count Isera, there's an Ancient of War, there's like nothing else that will survive the 5 attack Grim Patron and the 3 attack Grim Patron. So this is also like a removal for giants. When you go for like 4 and 5 Grim Patrons, you can just kill like whatever is on the board. So the interesting point in this deck, I'm going over the deck list here, it plays double Inner Rage, and most of the good Grim Patron players, like in my opinion, the top 2 Grim Patron players are Zalay and Justsaying. And the reason why I think those 2 are like the best, because they're very, very high. They're the highest Grim Patron players on ladder. Like Zalay finished rank 2 legend with Grim Patron, and Justsaying, he plays top 5 legend EU and NA with Grim Patron. So there's a lot of other top Grim Patron players out there, but like those are like the ones that are performing the best on ladder. Only just saying that there's not other top players out there, but like KitKat is also really good, and he's like innovating a lot of Grim Patron lists and stuff. But there's like a lot of good Grim Patron players, but those 2 are like the best in my opinion right now. And yeah, like just this is like the most current list, and I really like it. Just because of I'm going over the list here. Double Inner Rage. This is what the Archon people also use. I think like KitKats came up with it. I'm not so sure, like behind the scenes, how is it? Usually like a lot of people are working on those lists, and Inner Rage is just the fastest to spawn patrons. On turn 5 you use like, if you have a Deathbite out, you can, with the Inner Rage you can already spawn 4 Grim Patrons, which is like a huge deal. Almost no class can deal with it. Like Handlock can deal with it with a Hellfire, but even if they have a Shadow Flame, there's rarely a minion out there to use for Shadow Flame to clear the board. So Hellfire is an answer. And that's it most of the time, which is crazy when you think about it. On turn 5, almost no class can deal with. And this happens actually very often. Like, it sounds like it's like a rare thing, but it happens very often that you draw a Patron, Inner Rage, and Deathspite. It's like all those cards are 2-offs, and it's a turn 5 combo, which almost wins you the game, which is crazy. And like, this deck is just a super combo deck. There's so much synergy in it. Like the Battle Rage, if you have the Green Patrons out, people can already not deal with it. And if you had like an Emperor out before that, you can Battle Rage in the same turn for 1 mana, and it will draw you like 7 cards sometimes, which is a ridiculous amount. So even if your opponent can deal with the first amount of Green Patrons, he will not be able to deal with the second most of the time, just because it is so fast. Like, most of the time you will have your Grim Patron combo by turn 8, and when you think about like the slow control decks with the big threats, this is the time where you play your first big threat. Like, you play Dr. Boom on 7, which usually plays right into Grim Patron, because you just play the Grim Patrons and go for the YOLO and hope that the bombs will spawn more patrons. And if you have like already, as I mentioned earlier, if you have 2 patrons, you can already kill the Dr. Boom. So Inner Rage is the best card to combo Grim Patrons, and all the top Grim Patron players agree on that. So Inner Rage is also very good for Gromage. It's super fast, and a lot of people don't play around it. A lot of people play around the turn 10 Gromage with the Taskmaster. Most people do, just because they're used to it, but very few play around the turn 8 Gromage with Inner Rage, which is 12 damage. Or the turn 7 even. If you have the Emperor, turn 6, you can already do Gromage Inner Rage turn 7, which is super fast and super strong. Double Execute and Double Shield Slam is hard removals. You can kill everything. It's very good, especially like if you play with the Shield Slam. It's also like if the opponents don't know your list, they will rarely play. Like, when you play an Armor Smith into Shield Block, they will think you play Control Warrior, right? So this is already confusing, because the current Patron list don't play Shield Block. Yeah, in 1 week or so it will be very known, but like right now it is a big surprise factor, which is always good. Like, if people don't know your list, it's always an advantage. Double Shield Block is cycle, is card draw. Like, you want to draw cards, and you have so many cards to draw cards. You have the Slams, you have the Battle Rage, you have the Acolytes, you have the Shield Blocks, so you will draw your combos, which you want with this deck. People cut like everything, like all the taunts, Sludge Belches and stuff. You just want to draw your combo and win the game. And this deck is not much weaker against Hunter, even without the taunts, just because you have the heal of Shield Block. Like, Shield Block is 5 heal, 5 armor is essentially 5 heal, even better, and it draws your card. So it's very good. And you are able to deal with the high mans, because the current Hunter lists are much slower. They rely on the late game with like Dr. Boom, high mans and stuff. And with this version you can deal with that, because you play the Shield Slam and the Execute. And the Slam, which is also like very nice for that. Double Whirlwind, pretty standard to combo Frothings, OTK Frothings, and just big Frothings. To spawn more patrons, Whirlwind is also to draw cards with Acolyte. It's like very flexible. It damages all your minions, also for Battle Rage. It's like a combo list and high synergy. Like, every card has synergy with almost any other card. Slam, it helps you to get more value out of your Vorax. Like, oftentimes you have to equip the Deathspite over the Vorax to deal with a bigger minion, right? But the Slam helps you to, like, let's say your opponent plays an Angel of Lore. You don't need the Deathspite second charge, you can just slam and use your Vorax, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is crazy. You also draw a card with the Slam, right? And you save your Deathspite, so you cycle, you get like closer to the combo and stuff as well. It's like really big. Armor Smith just to heal. Like, you need the heal because you cut the taunts, so you have the Armor Smiths and the Shield Blocks. Very good against Freeze Mage as well. Very important, the Shield Blocks, like, you get a lot of armor. You need the armor also for the Shield Slams. Double Acolyte for card draw, very important. Frothings, it's like a win condition. Just one Taskmaster, by the way. Yeah, most pros agree that Taskmaster is just too slow for the patrons. It's 2 mana, it's like too slow. Like, Patron is already 5 mana, Boston Commander is 3 mana, and the Taskmaster is 2 mana. That's like a 10 mana combo to spawn 1 patron. That's like way too slow. So people are really going for the Inner Rages right now. And you don't have too many slots in the deck, so you gotta cut that one. The tech choices were BGH usually and Harrison, but you cut them out just because you don't have the room. You rather go for the more psych with the shield block, and you have the removal with the shield slam. And it is better also against non-weapon classes. And Patron's win condition, Emperor, it's like high synergy, Deathbite, Warstone Commander, all those are core. Also Grommage's core. Some people were cutting it for Dr. Boone, some people cut both for Gnomish Inventors, but Grommage is, like most pros agree that Grommage is just too high damage. Like, what do you want more? 8 mana, some with Emperor 7 mana, and with the Inner Rage 12 damage. Like for 2-card combo. Like, what else do you want? So this is the list. I'm also going to show you some games, and yeah.